I found a whiteboard tucked away in a room that nobody was using. Pretty much nobody has been in there for I don't know how long. And there's a whiteboard, like I said, and as I am pretty much notorious for doing, leave me with some sort of surface that I could draw on for more than 2 seconds, I probably am going to draw on it. So, without further ado, the book of Habakkuk may be a small, obscure piece of the Bible, but really, it's such an amazing book for a lot of reasons. In Habakkuk's 3 chapters, you can get a wonderful glimpse at the power of God. In those chapters, you get to see Habakkuk's cries to God, and then God's responses. I feel like the book of Habakkuk is a great reminder of God's might. By the end of the book, Habakkuk has shifted from crying out to God in dismay and begging for deliverance to rejoicing and praising God for who he is and the great things he does. The beginning of the book sees Habakkuk questioning God because of what's going on in the world, and then the end of the book sees Habakkuk praising God for all things, in all things. That's something that I personally need to remind myself of quite often, which is why I've got such a soft spot for Habakkuk. I spend a lot of time carrying heartache for what I see going on around me, and I can really relate to Habakkuk. I'm always asking why. Why does it have to be this way? Why does it all have to hurt so bad? Why can't I just fix the things that I'm attached to? God, why does it feel and or look like your hand isn't in any of this around me? I also tend to rely on my own strength to do everything. So much so that one of my automatic responses to anything is to just power through it myself. When things are out of control, the ability to let go just becomes so much harder. Reliance on God, or really anyone else for that matter, is something I wrestle with almost daily. People are bound to let you down in some way or another, and I've been so conditioned to that line of thought that in my small mindedness, I fall into the trap of leaning on my own strength and understanding rather than giving it all to God, even though it already belongs to Him, and He's always going to be the strongest. I'm funny like that. People are funny like that. So, I'd like to take a moment to read through the final verses of Habakkuk. Chapter 3, starting in verse 17, says, Though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive crop fails, and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen, and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God my Saviour. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to tread upon the heights. Regardless of what's going on around me, there's always reason to rejoice in God. It reminds me of Paul's letter to the Philippian Christians, where he tells them to always rejoice in the Lord, and also to the Thessalonian Christians, where he tells them to give thanks in all circumstances. And then going back to verse 19 in Habakkuk, the Lord is my strength. I am not my strength. Any strength I do have comes from God. When I don't have strength, He is strength for me, and He enables me. He's the one who has truly carried me as far as He has, not me. And He is the one who will carry me further. He is the one who makes me able to tread on the heights. I just find that very encouraging and something that's always good to come back and remind myself of, and I hope maybe it is for you too. I pray you and I never neglect to thank Him for who He is, what He does, where He's taken us, and where He enables us to go.